Hi, I'm standing here with Myron right here at WMKM. This is London. Hey, Myron.
Hey, Miss London, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you? Okay?
I'm doing great.
What's happening?
Miss London, I got something that I want to share with all your radio listeners and TV audience about what's going on in the city of Detroit,
What's happening?
April the 5th.
Okay.
I tell you, guess what? Detroit United Quartet Ministry, along with New Bethel Baptist Church, New Greater Zion Hill Baptist Church, and the men who will, guess what, Miss London, all the way from Canton, Mississippi, the Canton Spirituals are coming to the city of Detroit. It's Palm Sunday, matter of fact, at 4 o'clock p.m., which is April the 5th, 2020. It's going to be at the New Bethel Baptist Church, and that's 8430 C.L. Franklin Boulevard in Detroit. Featuring Detroit's own, I tell you, Pastor Robert Smith Jr., the trumpetist, Young Men for Christ, Men Who Will, the Galatian Singers, Beasley Brothers, and the Harmony Angels. And for tickets, it's only $20 in advance.
Wow, $20.
And $25 at the door.
Okay.
And if you want to be down close, you get a VIP ticket for only $30. Information, you can call me at 313-613-5442. And guess what, Detroit, Miss London? She's partnership up with us, and you can call her at
419-245-4979. That's 419-245-4979. Canton Spirituals.
Looking for you guys to be there.
Backstage from the Inside Out TV and social media talk show. Social, inspiring, and relatable. Our segments will also include London's Love, Care, and Share group with wellness and London TV with entertainment. Our host, Dre Bell Rock, Associate TV Announcer, Amanda Neal, London's Love, Renee Burwright. Produced by London, the Washington Community Enterprises, and CBiz TV Assisting. Guests from all walks of life, businessmen, ministers, actors, entertainers, and much, much more. Tell your story. We also welcome supporters and members. For more information, call 800-875-0674 and 419-245-4979. Backstage from the Inside Out.
Hello, once again, it's your host, Dre Bell Rock, with Backstage from the Inside Out, and we have a special guest on today. I know this young man, but would you like to introduce yourself? How are you doing today?
Pretty good. My name is DENNELL Young. Me and Dre know each other from ADI Actors Club. But you want me to tell the people what I do, my profession?
Yeah, tell your profession to get started for today.
Okay, I'm a criminal justice professional. Thus far I've worked in a few youth homes, juvenile detention facilities, but my foremost or primary aspiration is to eventually get into forensic investigation and be a homicide detective. But I'm going in many different capacities in the criminal justice realm right now, just to kind of get a feel for the criminal mind and learn why criminals do what they do. So, pretty much.
That's great. So, what you're going through now, how did you get to the point you are now? Have you ever had any self-esteem issues, any low points in your life, any things you had to overcome?
For me, I wouldn't say I suffered from low self-esteem per se. I was very apprehensive growing up because I am afflicted with a skin condition called vitiligo. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, but it's the loss of pigmentation in the skin. And I was, berated all my life pretty much by my peers and my family, which it was because of my family that I developed a negative attitude about it, because I was like, in my mind, if my family did this, then what would the outside world do? So I was real tight wound, apprehensive, and jittery when it comes to being in public ventures.
Yeah.
So it just made me real uncomfortable around people. And then the depression kind of kicked in, and it was a lot of anger
Wow.
and things. So I used to walk around as a kid. I used to, with the polo shirts, I used to button them all the way up to the top because it's on my neck and chest area.
Yes.
But 95% of it has been tattooed over, but I still have like 5%.
So what did you do to overcome that fear of showing your skin and just owning who you are?
Well, that didn't come till like my early 20s. I had a girlfriend, and once we became sexually active, I told her, well, before we do this, I'm gonna let you know I have this skin condition. If this turns you off, then when we won't do this and things. And then she opened my eyes. She said, I don't care about that. I care about you. You can have your whole body covered up, and I could care less. And that really opened my eyes that just because somebody's your family doesn't mean that they can't be ignorant too.
Yes.
And when somebody tries to project that ignorance onto you and try to make you feel worthless, that in turn exacerbates and exposes their feelings of worthlessness. That's pretty much the basic format of all oppressors. They have that feeling of worthlessness deep down inside them. That's what I think is the source of things like racism and things like that.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about some of your successes that you have today. What are some accomplishments that you have made today in your life?
I will say I've become, not only academically, I graduated from college and I have a lot of other aspirations such as hip-hop music, and I'm a martial artist, aspiring martial artist. I have a lot of things under the list of aspiring. But also I would say because of my affliction, I've become more independent. A lot of people, like if you notice comic book characters, if you notice the origin of them, they all seem to stumble upon their powers. And I think a lot of blessings are subtle and can be in disguise. So all superheroes that have great powers, they all seem to stumble upon them. Something happened to them that made them this superpower.
Yes.
And so that's what I feel I am today. I'm a superpower, and I feel I was anointed to uplift other people that suffer from vitiligo, and if they're stymied because of it, take that boulder off of their shoulders where they can feel free to live. And I like to break that down into like 4 steps. What is it? Assess. Oh man, my mind is blank.
It's okay.
I just say assess and proceed and live.
Yes.
Assess the situation, and if God can change it, then change it. But if you can't change it, then God will find a way for you to cope with it some kind of way and live. After just as soon as you get over your problem, the quicker you can move on with your life, because the mind is infinite, but time is finite.
Yes.
So we have to be calculated like footsteps of a thief and steps that we take to reach our goals. Don't waste. Every moment is precious. If you're having a problem, quickly assess it and try to conquer it and move on. But as far as accomplishments, I feel that's a big accomplishment for me because it made me more independent, and I don't break easily. So that's a big.
Because I noticed you on YouTube. I have seen your TV show. I'm not going to give a name. I'm going to let you talk more about that. But what is your TV show about? And tell us the title of it.
Stimulus Dimension. The title of my show is Stimulus Dimension. The basis of my show is restoring the integrity of hip-hop culture while addressing societal ills in our immediate community and the world abroad. And I conceived that show because I feel the overall quality of the rap genre is at an all-time low. And I hate to see, it just go to waste like that, because the music had to suffer to even be accepted as a true art form. So I'm trying to get it back to the grassroots and the basics.
So you're really into music. What's your favorite type of music and genres and stuff of that nature?
I would say I like R&B, but to top it all, I really like hip hop at the top of my list.
That's
but
great.
R&B and hip hop, I love and appreciate.
You know,
all
hip hop
music.
is very underrated today in society.
Well, I think that's I wouldn't say, well, it's underrated, but
It just seems a lot of artists complain about not getting the accolades they deserve.
oh, okay, well, yeah, but it doesn't have the high quality that it had in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So there is an underground segment that stick to the basic format that are underrated and should be celebrated in wider circles that aren't. So I would agree with that.
So how would you describe your alternative lifestyle or the way you live your lifestyle
Well,
coming from your perspective?
okay, well, the definition of our alternative is, to me, not according to established norms or established order. So, like I said earlier, a lot of people run from darkness, but I embrace shadows and I work my way through the shadows and I live in the shadows into illumination. That's how I would describe my
Okay,
lifestyle.
great. And you're also a part of ADI Entertainment.
Yes, sir.
How do you like being a part of ADI Entertainment?
I love it. I love it.
Have you always been into acting?
I always wanted to do acting. That when I joined ADI, that was my actual first time to do it. So I always wanted to be an actor, but I didn't get to do it until I joined ADI. I auditioned for some plays at Wayne State, but they never got off the ground. But I didn't get to actually do it until I joined ADI, and I'm really loving it. It's a dream come true.
That's great.
Yeah.
So do you consider yourself to be like a positive person?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. For my struggles, I regurgitate on the table. You know, I don't pull any punches. I regurgitate right there on the table so you can see life as it. I feel I've been cursed to see life as it truly is, and there's no point to sugarcoat anything because
Yeah.
that stunts growth. You know, so it's no point in pulling punches and sugarcoat anything.
So yeah, just to talk a little bit more about your upbringing, where did you grow up? Did you grow up in the Detroit area?
Yeah.
And how was your childhood?
It was my childhood was a bit difficult because I was harassed about my affliction, and I was raised and reared in a single parent home. My father suffered from mental illness. He was a Vietnam veteran, so they had a lot to do with it. But I was raised by my mother. I grew up on the west side of Detroit,
Okay.
and I have a
West Side, I did too.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, but I really praise my mother. She did a phenomenal job, and it's hard having that burden on your shoulders to be a female and be a male's mother and father. And she,
And I know you told me you went to, was it Bishop Borges
Yeah,
growing
yeah.
up? I went to Benedictine, Catholic schools, private schools. That's very nice. How was your experience at Bishop Borges?
it's not. There's a big misconception about private schools. You know, a lot of people think it's preppy and everybody is.
Got money and rich.
Yeah, and then everybody's brainiac, but that's not the case. When I was in private school, a lot of people were taking the kids that were thrown out of all the schools in the city and putting them in a private school, and they're thinking it's going to turn them around because it's Catholic school, but it was the reverse effect. They pretty much, when you put the bad apples in there with the good ones, it kind of spoiled all the rest of them, and I was exposed to, drugs, teenage pregnancy, gang violence, and everything, but it wasn't all bad, for the most part. It was decent academically, but overall, I still experienced some of the same things that your typical inner city child does.
Yeah, that is great. So, tell us about like your social media. How can we contact you? Where can we get to know more about you at? You got any social media out there or anything?
I just got
Are you
my
working on it?
I just got my Facebook page
That's
up and
fine.
going, so I'm coming into the 2020s. But yeah, you can catch me on Facebook. If you want to talk about my show or just educate me if you can. Life lessons. Catch me on Facebook.com. Tune into my show, Stimulus Dimension, on YouTube monthly. And that's the only social media I have
Okay.
at this time. But
That's great. You can always expand to social media anytime, but in the meantime, Facebook is great.
yeah, I'm trying to get an Instagram page.
Yeah. So, what are you doing in the future? What can we look forward to seeing you do in the future?
A lot of focus on my martial arts because that's one of my first loves. Martial arts. I study in the disciplines of Hapkido and Muay Thai, so I'm definitely going to stay on that path to reach black belt in both of those
Wow, what
different.
color belt are you now?
Purple in Hapkido and red sash in Muay
And
Thai.
what level is that? What does that actually mean?
Okay, well, in Muay Thai, let's see, there's white, yellow, orange, blue, then red, and then
So you're
Hapkido.
pretty advanced.
Yeah, but truth be told, belts don't mean nothing. It's all about what's retained up
Okay.
here, pretty much.
So I learned something new.
Yeah.
I thought once you get that black belt, you
Some
ready to beat up
people,
everybody.
some people, but it's all about what's retained in the mind, and in your spirit and in your soul.
And it's really not about just beating somebody up.
No, it's a
just
mental
about
aspect.
a mental aspect and really learning the technicality part of
Yes,
the
sir.
fighting karate or whatever.
Yes,
whatnot.
sir. Yes, sir.
That is so great. I mean, it's just really great to have you. I've
Likewise.
known you for a while now. It's
Yes,
always
sir.
great to work with you with ADI.
Yes, sir.
In closing, what would you just say to that person out there struggling with self-esteem? What could they do to boost their self-esteem, or what could they do to overcome some hurdles in their life
Use it.
from your perspective?
I would say, embrace your pain. Like I was saying early, immerse yourself in the shadows, in the darkness. Don't, hide from it because the problem will never change if you run. And embrace your pain and grow from it. That's what I would say.
That's just amazing. I mean, it was just wonderful having you today.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, you're such a
Appreciate
nice
it.
guy, and
Thank you.
anything else you're doing that you just want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Just pursuing my criminal justice career, martial arts, and acting. That's pretty much. So look for me in Machete Connection. That's a upcoming film we have coming. So yeah, Machete Connection and a few of our other projects.
Well, we had DENNELL on today on Backstage from the Inside Out. I mean, this was a great interview. It was so wonderful having you.
Likewise, thanks.
Always nice to see you. And, God bless you. And I just wish you the best with all your future endeavors. And, I'll see you in ADI because we both do ADI.
Yes, sir.
But this is Backstage from the Inside Out with your host, DRE Rock. And once again, we'll see you guys later.
Backstage from the Inside Out TV and social media talk show. Social, inspiring, and relatable. Our segments will also include London's Love, Care, and Share group with wellness and London TV with entertainment. Our host, DRE Rock, Associate TV Announcer, Amanda Neal. London's Love, Renee Burwright. Produced by London, the Washington Community Enterprises, and CBiz TV Assisting. Guests from all walks of life, businessmen, ministers, actors, entertainers, and much, much more. Tell your story. We also welcome supporters and members. For more information, call 800-875-0674 and 419-245-4979. Backstage from the Inside Out. Recognizing in Black History Month 2020, living legend J.G. Contour of the original Contours of Motown Records. The sound that changed America. Motown Records today label is a part of the Universal Music Group. Black History Month 2020 today. R.J. Watkins, President and CEO of WHPR TV Detroit Live, WHPR FM 88.1, and WVIE FM 107.3. R.J. Watkins has launched a world-class entertainment complex at the WHPR TV Detroit studios. In addition to television and FM 88.1 radio, Watkins has added a radio station, WVIE 107.3 FM, in the Virgin Islands to his portfolio, with a listenership that encompasses the islands of St. Thomas, St. John, Water Island, and St. Croix. The entertainment complex also includes a film studio and concert hall. R.J. Watkins is one of only a few minority broadcasters in the United States who owns his own broadcast tower. Black History Month Living Legend 2020. Evelyn Turrentine Agee, an American gospel artist and musician. She started her music career in 1992 with the release of In God's Own Time by A&M Records. She has since released at least 8 more albums with an assortment of labels which include Worldwide Gospel, Atlanta International Records, Light Records, WOS Recordings, and more. 5 albums have charted on the Billboard magazine charts, which have primarily come on the Gospel Albums chart. Recognitions for Black History Month 2020. Living legend Reverend Dr. Lottie Jones Hood is the first woman and first African American pastor of the First Congregational Church of Detroit, founded in 1844, 175 years ago. Reverend Dr. Lottie Jones Hood is the first African American moderator of the National Congregational Church, founded by the Pilgrims in 1620, 400 years ago. Reverend Dr. Lottie Jones Hood is the CEO and Senior Minister Emeritus for the Underground Railroad Living Museum and has received the Purpose Prize Fellow 2014. The Underground Railroad tours are still active today at the First Congregational Church of Detroit. Reverend Dr. John D. Milburn, Doctorate of Christian Education and Ecclesiastical Law, owner of J. Milburn Mechanical for 40 years. Highlighting African American entrepreneurs and businesses, Black History Month 2020. Sonny's Hamburger, Detroit, Michigan. Owner Mike, located on Schoolcraft and Evergreen. Caleb Foster of Michigan, owner of Reigned Entertainment and owner of WCVG 1320 AM Radio in Cincinnati, Ohio. CBiz Media and Sister the Sister. Owners Irene Washington, engineering at WMKM 1440 for 15 years, and Sylvia Wright, licensed mechanic for 20 years. Pastors Darlene and Sarah of Exciting Life Christian Center, ministering in our communities and worldwide for over 35 years. Fought in World War II, the late Bishop James W. Glenn Harris Sr. and pastor and founder of the Free Will Missionary Full Gospel Church, James W. Glenn Harris and First Lady Annie Harris, founded over 60 years ago. Free Will Missionary Full Gospel Church is still active here today in Ohio and Michigan. This segment of Black History Month 2020 has been brought to you by London D. Washington Community Enterprise with London, owner of ADI Actors Club of Michigan and Ohio. We would like to thank and appreciate all of the many African American entrepreneurs, businesses, pastors, and those that are in our community for all that they do. This is African American History Month 2020. London D. Washington Community Enterprise. TV, radio, film, production, broadcasting. You may call 800-875-0674. You may also contact us at our email, londondoris@gmail.com. LONDENDORIS@gmail.com. You may also see us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Blogger, Messenger, and many more at London, Washington. You also can check our website at ldwcenterprise.weebly.com. That's ldwcenterprise.weebly.com. London D. Washington Community Enterprise, at your service. Tune in to CBiz Media Podcasts. Can be heard at cbiztvonline.com. Also, CBiz Media Podcasts, The T, and other programs can be seen on Comcast video style on Saturdays at 10 a.m. on Channel 90 in Detroit, Western Wayne, West Oakland, and Macomb counties. Also, tune in to Sister to Sister Ministries on Comcast every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Comcast at 10 a.m. Channel 20.
Bishop W.J. Campbell of Divine Deliverance Church, located at 15819 Wyoming in Detroit, Michigan, 48238. Join us for Sunday school at 11 a.m., Sunday morning service at noon, Wednesday midweek prayer from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., Wednesday Bible study at 6 p.m., and call for prayer and consultation.
You've fallen into a state of mind known as stimulus dementia. I'm a resident of the realm and your host, DENNELL Young. This entity delves into the source of environmental ills we are faced within the Black community and the world abroad, while bearing the vendetta of restoring the integrity of hip-hop culture and quality of radio listening as a whole. Cometh, watch, and listen as we are both enlightened with a true learning experience.
Join Dr. Vicky Archie for engaging Bible discussion and lessons for life. Ministry is the focus and winning souls for Christ is the goal. With Dr. Vicky Archie.